All right, guys. So if you're just joining on, this is Jason with Venture Fitness. Kelly over there, because she's going to be running us through a vinyasa flow or power yoga. Okay, so I'll wait for a few people here. We have to start late because of the kids. So just like normal people's lives, this is what you have to do at home. So I am going to try to get some people to come through. So give me 1 second here as I tag a few friends. You can hear the kids in the back there.
She's talking, you're talking to her.
I know. Be patient as I'm trying to figure this out here. I'm kind of a boomer sometimes. Don't laugh over there, Kelly. Eric Cameron. All right, guys. So we are going to start it up here. All right. So go ahead and jump in. If you're late, that's okay. We'll start our yoga. Again, it's a power yoga, so it's a little more intense. So it depends on what your level is. So just go ahead and follow along.
Yeah, like always, feel free to grab whatever kind of blocks, any kind of blankets. I know we're at home, so we might not have some of those nice yoga supplies or props for ourselves. But it's actually kind of nice because when we're at home, we can pick the nice, really cozy stuff. So, I mean, if there's a blanket that you really, really like, feel free to bring it onto your mat. As always, go at whatever your level is. Like I said in the video earlier this afternoon, I'm not able to see what you're doing, so just do what you know what you can do. So if there's something where you're like, ooh, this is a pretty big stretch, I don't know, it's a little intense, just back off it a little bit, maybe find a different alternative stretch, or even just a seated pose, child's pose, completely good as well. So we'll get started here then into just a nice little child's pose. You can pick whatever child's pose you like. Maybe it's the knees together, big toes to touch, gently walking it down, melting the head, the forehead down onto the ground. Or maybe it's a wide leg child's pose, so taking those knees towards the edges of the mat, big toes still to touch, and still walking it on down, looking to make sure that my glutes aren't rising super, super high off those heels. If we are tight, that's completely fine, but we're looking to find that whole spine working down, almost like we're trying to drape that spine over the top of the feet. So finding any little movements here that feel good for you. Maybe it's rocking side to side, letting those hips loosen up. Maybe it's rocking the forehead side to side on the mat. Feel free, maybe you want to take those hands, place them underneath the forehead. Find a really nice comfy position to start in. So as always in my yoga classes, I like to find that breath first. Just checking in with the breath. We're not making any kind of comparisons. We're not trying to judge the breath. Just seeing how it feels in the moment. And as we start to turn towards that breath and see how it feels, we start to visualize it through our body. Noticing where you find it the most in your body. Maybe it's coming in through the nose. Maybe it's a sensation through the mouth. Maybe you feel a coolness at the back of the throat. Or it could even just be the rise and the fall of your belly or your chest. Just finding that nice breath. Letting it come to your own natural rhythm. Knowing that your breath is very unique, just like you. So I may have a little bit faster of a breath cycle than you, or a little bit slower. Sometimes when we are moving at one breath, one movement, you may get a little off track, trying to catch up with their breaths. That's completely fine. You're on your own here, you're at your own house, so don't feel any pressure to keep up. We always will meet back into a downward dog together, so take your time, find your own breath, move through the motions with your own breath. Finding those inhales and exhales. Good. One last inhale here. And nice sigh out, exhale. Wonderful. We'll walk those hands over to the right hand side. You can either spill them off the mat or you can keep them on. Maybe you want to take that left hand and walk it over top of the right. So from here, we're thinking about stretching through the left fingertip all the way down to the left hip. Notice if that left hip wants to pick up off that left heel. Gently ground it down. Still think about moving these two parts away. So hand and hips moving away from each other. If you wanted to, you can take that left elbow, swivel it closer to the mat, take that gaze underneath that right armpit. So just out to the right hand side. Good. Find one more nice long breath here. And exhale, release back to center. Inhale, walk the hands over to the left hand side. Again, spill off if you'd like, or keep them right onto the mat. Right hand can journey on top of that left. Find this nice big stretch. Find that inhale. Imagine that breath weaving through each rib, finding more space into the side. And exhale, settling into the hips. If you'd like, you can take that right elbow, swivel it closer to the ground, open up through that left hand side, take a gaze underneath that left armpit. Good. Find one nice long breath. And exhale, walk the hands through center. We'll inhale, rise up to a little tabletop, and we'll take ourselves down onto the mat, bringing those elbows underneath the shoulders. So this part, I know you will want to look up and see what's happening, but take that gaze just down, right in between the thumbs. Still keep a nice long space through that whole back of the neck. If we start to look up, that's when we start to kind of cramp that neck. So placing those elbows and even also weight into the hands. Imagine yourselves rolling the shoulders back down into the ground and away. Opening up the chest. Think about shining the collarbones nice and wide. Good. Find one more breath. On the exhale, we'll roll over those knees. If you have to move the arms, feel free, move the arms. We'll come into our extended puppy pose. Letting that chest melt down towards the mat, opening up through the shoulders. I have my hips still stacked over my knees here. So just like a tabletop, but we're coming down to the ground with that chest. Find one more breath. Beautiful. Inhale, inch forward just a little bit. We'll weave that left arm underneath the right, coming into a nice twist here. Coming down onto that left shoulder, left ear option if you would like. We can take that right hand up. We can take that right hand up around. Maybe grab that left hip, left thigh, whatever it may be. We still want to look at our shoulders, so making sure that the shoulders aren't pointing down to the ground. We want to think about right shoulder stacking on top of left from floor to ceiling if we take that bind. If not, just place that right hand maybe down on the ground. Maybe it's above, reaching towards the top of the mat. Good. Find one more breath. Beautiful. We'll find the exhale if you'd like, and you're still in that bind. We'll come to seated. So I have my right hand onto my left hip here, and we'll take that left hand onto the right thigh. If not, we're just taking that right hand right back behind ourselves. Left hand still towards that right thigh. Finding a little twist. So inhaling tall, and exhale, twist through. Good. One more breath. Exhale, untwist. We'll come back to our extended puppy pose here. Inhale, shift forward just a little bit. Create that space under the left arm. Swim the right arm underneath. Come down onto the right shoulder, right ear. Option again, left hand can stay here, can stay in the ground, or maybe we reach back behind, grab the right hip, right thigh, still looking to make those shoulders stacked right on top of each other. Good, find one more. Exhale, you'll either release that bind, release that twist, or we'll sit back onto the heels. Left hand still onto that right thigh, right hand onto left thigh. Inhale, finding that space, and exhale, twist. Again, option, left hand just right back behind the back. Good. Exhale, untwist. We'll come back to our tabletop position. This time finding those hands stacked underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hip points. We'll roll through that cat-cow again. We'll inhale, draw the belly down, take that chest nice and forward. Exhale, curling through, separating the shoulder blades. Inhale to your count, shining the heart forward. Exhale to your cat. Good. Inhale, find the valley of your back. And exhale, find the peak of your back. One last time. Inhale, find cow. Exhale to your cow. Beautiful. Inhale, return back to a tabletop position. Tuck the toes under and inhale, lift the knees. Just shift them a little bit above the ground. Eager. Holding them about an inch off the ground here. Starting to engage into the core. So noticing if that belly likes to drop tailbone up, almost like in our cow position. Keep it a little bit in between that cat and cow. So nice straight spine here. Good, one more breath. And exhale, press through the hands, fly the bottom up. Coming into your downward dog. As always, take as much movement here. Explore the downward dog as much as you'd like. Taking it wide. Maybe taking it narrow. Maybe we're pedaling out, rising heel, bending a knee. Maybe it's even shifting back and forth between high plank and a downward dog. You'll find whatever feels the best for you here. Find two more breaths. One more. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward, and take a nice little steps towards your hands. Inhale, elongating the spine, and exhale, folding. As always, taking that first forward fold however comfortably you'd like. Maybe it's bending the knees, letting the chest and stomach hang out on top of the thighs. Crown of the head still melting down to the earth though. If we're super bent, head is down to the earth. If we're super straight in the legs, still head is bent down towards that earth. Give it a wiggle out if you'd like. Maybe it's shaking the head, yes. Shaking it, no. Finding space into that whole spine here, all the way from the bottom and to the top. And find one more breath. Inhale, bend the knees, tuck the chin to chest, roll yourself up to standing. Good. Everything's nice and aligned here. We'll start our sun salutation A's and B's. We'll have a little bit of variation in between them though. We'll inhale, draw the hands up nice and tall. And exhale, flowing down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step back into our plank. I always take my first one down onto the knees, lowering those knees. Exhale, halfway lower. And inhale, rising up. Exhale, rolling over the knees, tucking under the toes, coming back, downward dog. Take a breath. Inhale, rise high on the toes, bend the knees, hop or step the feet towards the hands, elongate the spine, and exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Take those hands with you. We'll bring them all the way up. And exhale, back down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back into your plank. Option here if you'd like to do that full vinyasa. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale, rising up to your upward dog or cobra. And exhale, rolling back through downward dog. Take 2 here. 1 more. Beautiful. Inhale, right side on the toes, bend the knees again. Hop or step the feet towards the hands. Elongate the spine and exhale, fold. Inhale, gently roll all the way up to standing. Take those hands with you. Exhale, hands to heart space. Beautiful. We'll try that sun salutation B. Inhale, rise the hands. Exhale, sitting back, finding chair. So same thing, just like how we have those knees hovering off the ground, we want to make sure we're supported through that core. So engaging the core, making sure the glutes aren't pressed back or really, really rounded. So keeping those ribs from flaring out or flaring in. Good, find 1 more breath. Exhale, floating down. Inhale, prepare the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, hop or step back into your plank if you'd like. Again, roll through that chaturanga if you'd like. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale, rise to your upward dog. And exhale to your downward dog. Good. Inhale, rise the right toes. Let's take a stretch through the hip. Stack the right hip on top of left. And start to bend through that knee. Right heel towards that left glute. And stay nice and squared into the hands, noticing if you're bending an arm, maybe you're swaying to one side more than the other. Inhale, point the toes, square the hips. Exhale, step the foot between the hands and anchor down that left heel, heel to heel alignment here. Inhale, rising up, finding your warrior 1. Not pressing with the chest forward, keeping it all stacked here. Pressing through that back left blade of the foot. Good, find an extra breath. And exhale, we'll float down. Option here for you. Maybe you want to just head back into that downward dog. Maybe you want to head into that plank. Roll through if you'd like. Finding your chaturanga. Moving to your downward dog, however you please. Good, find 1 more here. Inhale, lift the left toes. Again, taking that journey, opening up the hips here. Bending the left knee. And squaring the weight. Notice if you're bending one arm or the other. Nice big breath, opening up that left hip. Inhale, pointing the toes, squaring the hips. And exhale, stepping forward in between the hands and rolling that right heel down on the ground. Inhale, rise up, warrior 1. Take a couple breaths here. Settle into that back blade of the right foot. And exhale, floating down. Finding again your way towards your downward dog, however you'd like. Good, find 2 breaths. 1 more. Inhale, rise high on the toes, bend the knees, hop or step the feet towards the hands, elongate the spine, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands come to heart space. We'll start to add on to that a little bit, make it a little bit funkier. Inhale, rise in the hands. Exhale, bending the knees, hinging at the hips, still looking to see what we're doing with that lower spine here. Good option, maybe you want to draw those toes up off the ground, testing out that balance. If we're hip distance apart or still together. Good, 1 more. Exhale, float back down. Inhale, prepare the back. Exhale, plant the palms, hop or step back into plank or chaturanga or step back. Again, work your way however you'd like to that downward dog. Take a breath. Inhale, right toes lift. Exhale, step the right foot through, anchor down left heel. Inhale, rising up, warrior 1. Using your breath, exhale, coming back down, working through however you'd like into that pose. Getting the downward dog. Take a breath. Inhale, left toes float high. Exhale, stepping the left foot through, anchor down right. Inhale, rise up, warrior 1. Exhale, coming down. Floating through however you'd like. find one more breath. Inhale, shift forward, come into a high plank. If you have to move the feet back or move the hands back, completely fine. Find that high plank that's comfortable. Then notice what we're doing with the shoulders. Noticing if they're coming together, we want to find those cat arm shoulders, or little cat pose shoulders, right? So we're pressing away, arching through that upper back. Beautiful, lift that right foot. Exhale, draw that right knee over to that right elbow. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, cross. Inhale, back up. Exhale to the right. Option, kick that right leg long. Inhale, bring it back in and out. Exhale, over to left, out if you'd like. Good, inhale, bring it back. Toes come down. Take a breath. Reset through the hands. Good, inhale, lift the left foot. Exhale, over to the knee. Inhale, back. Exhale, over the right. Inhale, back. Exhale, left. Kick it out. Inhale, back. Exhale, right. Kick it out. Inhale, back. And exhale, lower. Work through. Find your downward dog. Maybe it's even just that child's pose that we started off with. Take a breath. Inhale, rise high the toes, bend the knees, hop or step the feet towards the hands, elongate the spine, and exhale, fold. Take a moment here. Let those arms hang nice and heavy. Let the head hang heavy. Let it all just kind of go. Wonderful. We'll start to take those hands down onto the mat. So if you have to bend, completely fine. Hands come flat onto the mat and take those feet right behind the hands. So I'll turn to the side here. So we're just gonna find a little faux crow, just the start of the prep to the crow. So taking those hands, shifting the weight forward, finding a bend. So we wanna think of a shelf and we wanna place our knees on top of the shelf. Finding just pressing forward, getting comfortable with the heels coming up off the ground and our weight forward. Good, taking nice long breaths. Really getting used to now our fingers are gripping through that mat. We're starting to become a little bit familiar, like how our feet usually grip into the ground. If we're about to fall, our feet will try to figure it out. Toes will help us all out. Same thing with our hands. The palms are going to figure it out. We have all those fingers to help spread the distance. One more breath. Beautiful. Rock back onto the heels. Lift the hips back. Find your forward fold. Maybe shake out those wrists, whatever it may be. Good. Inhale, gently roll yourself up. Take those hands with you. And exhale, hands to heart space. Good. Let's add on. Inhale, rise the hands. Exhale, sit back, chair. Take two. Lower with the last one. Good. Forward fold. Inhale, prepare the back, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, hop or step back into your chaturanga or your plank, or however you'd like. Get to that downward dog. Inhale, right toes float high. Exhale, step the right foot through, anchor down that left heel. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, floating back down. Work through, or you can always skip this part. Good, take a breath here. Inhale, left toes lift. Exhale, step the left foot through, anchor down right heel. Inhale, rising up, warrior one. Exhale, coming back down. Find your downward dog. Good, find two breaths. One more. Wonderful. Inhale, snake your way through high plank. Exhale, wave back, downward dog. So cobra hooding through the shoulders. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, rolling back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, come down, chaturanga. Beautiful. Inhale, rise high the toes, bend the knees, hop or step the feet towards the hands, elongate the spine, and exhale, fold. Take a moment here. Let those arms come back to you here. Beautiful. Bend the knees, plant the hands. Again, get comfy here. Finding that crow pose. Placing those knees onto the backs of the triceps, just pressing yourself forward. If we have a blanket or block, always option if you feel like you might fall, we have that just to support ourselves. Good, find 2 more breaths. 1 more. Beautiful. Exhale, heels come down, lift the hips. Inhale, gently roll yourself back up, hands come with us. Exhale, hands to heart space. Inhale, rise the hands. Exhale, sit back chair. 2 breaths. 1 more. Exhale, hands towards middle. Inhale, prepare the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, hop or step back into your plank, chaturanga, whatever it may be. Inhale, right toes lift. Exhale, step the right foot through, anchor down, left heel. Inhale, rise up, warrior 1. Exhale, float back down. Work through if you'd like. Take a breath. Inhale, left toes lift. Exhale, step the left foot through. Anchor down, right heel. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, come back down. Working through if you'd like. Always an option for child's pose. Good, find 1 more breath. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Take a breath. Beautiful. Take those heels over to the right hand side. Whether you have the feet stacked, maybe you stagger the feet, maybe you bring that right knee underneath that right hip. We'll lift that left hand up to the sky. So we're either here, gate pose, with that right knee underneath that right hip. Maybe we have a little bit of a different modification. Left foot steps over the top. Maybe we're stacked. Maybe you want to try anything crazy that you'd like. Exhale, hand comes down onto the mat. Take a breath. Beautiful. Exhale, heels over to the left-hand side. Same thing. Left knee underneath left hip. Inhale, draw the right hand tall. Maybe we're in that little plank, but the right foot steps over the top. Still looking to draw that right hip up to the sky, no matter what one of those poses we're in. Exhale, right hand down onto the earth. Hold here. An option, work your way through chaturanga if you'd like, or just into that downward dog. Good, find 1 more breath. Inhale, rise high on the toes, bend the knees, hop or step the feet towards the hands, elongate the spine, and exhale, fold. Again, give it a few breaths here. Beautiful. We'll place those hands down on the ground. Walk those feet behind the wrists. Again, find that little shelf those elbows make. Backs of the arms make, the triceps make. Press the weight forward. Take 2 nice long breaths. Exhale, heels come back down to the earth. Lift the hips. Beautiful. Inhale, roll it up. Arms come with us. Exhale, hands to heart space. Good. Inhale, rise tall. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms down, hop or step back into plank. Move your way through. Good. Inhale, draw the right toes tall. Exhale, bring the knee towards the nose. Curl through. Find that again, pressing away on the ground, separating the shoulder blades. Now start to melt that left heel down onto the ground, or the left inside blade of the foot down to the mat. Kick that right foot over to the left hand side. Inhale, draw the left hand tall. Exhale, left hand places down. Bring that knee back into the chest. Good. We'll take ourselves into plank. So if you're a little bit shifted, we'll shift our shoulders over those wrists. We'll take ourselves, step that right foot back behind yourself. Draw the hips up, inhale. Right hand over the top. Good. Exhale, sweeping back through. Option here, if you'd like, you can roll through chaturanga, or you can always press back downward dog. Good. Inhale, draw the left toes tall. Exhale, knee to nose, curl through. Draw that right heel down to the ground. Kick that left foot over to the right hand side. Inhale, draw the right hand tall. Exhale, right hand down to the earth. Draw that knees back to the nose. Good. Shift the shoulders over the wrists. And start to step that left foot back behind yourself on the right. Inhale, lift the hips. Left arm swims over the top. Good. Exhale, hand meets the earth. Again, option here, step back. Work your way through if you'd like to get to that downward dog. Good. Find 2 breaths. 1 more. Inhale, rise high on the toes, bend the knees, hop or step the feet towards the hands, elongate the spine, and exhale, fold. Again, same thing. Give those arms a little wiggle. Maybe it's rolling those wrists out. Good. Find 1 more breath. Beautiful. Hands plant down. Heel toe, the feet right behind those wrists. Same thing. If you'd like, you can try that crow. If you have crow in your yogi practice, feel free, pop into that crow. If you don't, always find that blanket. You definitely have all the blankets, all the pillows, all that good stuff at home for yourself. Maybe you even have a block. You can always pop your heels onto that block, toes onto the block. Maybe you'll work on lifting one foot. Maybe it's the other. Ooh, got close.
I try not to.
Go ahead, find 2 more breaths. 1 more. Beautiful. If you're in crow, feel free. Maybe pop back through a vinyasa. If not, we'll all meet into that forward fold. However you'd like. If you're in that downward dog, make your way to that forward fold, standing. Beautiful. Inhale, draw yourself up nice and tall. Hands will come with us. Exhale, hands to heart space. Good. Let's take those hands, interlace them back behind our back. Interlace the fingers and root them down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, finding a forward fold here. Take the time. Gently move through it. Knuckles rising up. If those arms are super tight and you keep kind of breaking away from those fingers, you want to grab a wrist. Or maybe even if you have a strap, a little towel, start to kind of work those shoulders down. Good. If you'd like, you can heel toe those feet apart. A little bit more than hip distance. You can work through bringing right shoulder, right knee, left shoulder, left knee, kind of wagging out. Maybe it's a fast wag. Maybe it's just a slow wag. Maybe there's none at all. Still keep that head nice and loose. Good. 1 more breath. Exhale, release the hands down to the earth. Wonderful. Gently make our way down to seated, however you'd like to do that. No fancy way. Just coming down. Good. We'll find ourselves, let's give ourselves just a little bit of hip love. So we'll take let's do that right leg out first. and left leg will kind of hug in towards that right. We'll take 2 different bends here, giving our back some love, and we'll work on those hips. So we'll inhale, draw the spine nice and long. If you'd like, you can travel with those arms. Exhale, we'll lead with the chest and not the nose. So leading with the chest towards that right leg. Let those arms fall wherever you'd like. If you have a strap, feel free to use a strap. I don't usually like one because I know my tendency is to roll those shoulders up into my ears. So if you're able to strap or towel, whatever it may be, and roll them back, not using that to kind of pull the arms. So think about nice long spine, releasing into the hips here. And keep those toes, those right toes nice and active. Make sure that they're not just kind of loose. Keep energy here. We just had a crazy little flow. I got really sweaty from that. I don't know if you did. So if your arms are tired, keep that energy still flowing through there. We did a lot of great stuff. We get to finally let those relax. Feet now are sending out all the energy. Beautiful. Inhale, gently walk yourself up. And now we'll take that shoulder towards that right knee. We'll do that thing where we swim that right arm to the inside and left arm will swim over the top. So if you saw my afternoon, this is kind of that same as that wide leg forward fold. We're bringing that right arm to the inside just to keep that chest open, making sure that we kind of have this little barrier with that resistance with our arm. And as that left arm swims over the top, even if you're not able to touch, like I said earlier, you can take a nice kind of relaxed here, letting that arm drape over the top of the head, as long as we don't kind of rest that chest down towards the earth. So we're looking to open up through this left-hand side. Still keeping our toes nice and active if we're not reaching them. Find one more. Wonderful. Inhale, gently drawing yourself up. We'll switch out legs. Good. Chest pointing towards that left foot. Inhale, draw the hands tall. And exhale, leading with the chest, finding that forward fold. If those hamstrings are super tight, feel free to find a bend into that knee. Good. Find one more breath. Inhale. Walk the hands back up. Taking that left shoulder, meeting it with that left leg, swimming it to the inside, and then drawing that right arm over the top. Again, same kind of thing here. Chest opening, blooming over to that right hand side. Good. Find two more. One more. Beautiful. Inhale, drawing yourself up nice and tall. We'll find that wide leg forward fold. So I'm going to spin, give us some room here to the side of my mat. If you find in this pose those heels feel super, super hard into the ground, always find a blanket if you'd like something to pad them. Also that blanket, we can find another one or a block, place it underneath the hips. That will just help extend that fold, prop that back up a little bit more, and find the space through the hips. So kind of the same thing as that facing straight on our leg. We'll inhale, draw ourselves nice and tall. And exhale, I like to just go as far as my back will let me. So I usually stop about here. Hands will come down to the earth. All right, so maybe we're here, maybe we're up nice and tall. We always have any kind of props here to help us out. As we get deeper into this pose, start thinking about inhale, drawing nice and long. Exhale, bending a little bit more into the hips. See if you're able to almost work your way slowly down until you can pancake out like Jason. Obviously, it won't happen in one session, but as you go through, as you get used to this pose, you find a little bit more movement and wiggle room into those hips. But as always, take it at your own pace. Keep those toes nice and active. Make sure they're not kind of just hanging loose here. Sending that beautiful energy that we just cultivated in our practice and sending it out through the toes. Lovely. Your next inhale, walk it up nice and tall. And we'll take those legs out in front of us. And we'll roll it back onto our back. Let's just take those wrists and start to roll them. Now that those arms have had a break, just give those wrists any kind of little movement, any kind of little wiggle that feels good. Maybe it's taking them together, maybe it's them separately, whatever it may be here. Good. We'll find ourselves in a nice little spinal twist. So we'll take that left leg nice and long. We'll bring that right knee into the chest. Left hand will grab the right knee, guide it over to the left hand side. From here, we'll extend that right arm and the gaze to follow over to the right. So making sure when we're heading into twists, looking to draw the knee away from the shoulder, the right shoulder. So if you're starting to lift up off that right shoulder, just reset. Bring that right knee back into the center and then start to gently draw it over. Wherever that shoulder likes to pop off, stop a little bit before that. We'll work on that same breath pattern. Finding that inhale, imagine space rolling through each vertebrae. And then on the exhale, we're almost wringing ourselves out. See if you can draw that right knee a little bit closer towards that left-hand side. Draw that right knee back through the center. Give it a nice big squeeze here. And send it on its way down to the ground. Left knee will come into the chest. Right hand grabs the left thigh, pulls it over to the right hand side, extending the left arm and the gaze to follow over to the left. Same thing, noticing if that left shoulder pops up off the ground as we try to journey that knee towards the mat or towards the floor. Keep the shoulders glued and just work through that little twist. Again, finding that inhale, drawing from the tailbone all the way up the spine, leaving in space to each vertebrae, and then exhale, raining out through the spine. Wonderful. We'll draw left knee back in. Give it a nice big squeeze. And we'll send that left leg down towards the earth, heading into our last and final pose, our Savasana. Letting the feet hang heavy towards the corners of the mat. Letting those thighs roll outward. And finding that body come into its relaxation. Closing or lowering the eyes. Letting the hips melt into the mat. Feeling that gentle rise and fall of your breath through the belly or the chest. As the shoulders relax. And draw the chin a little bit closer towards the chest, elongating the back of the neck. Letting the mind be at peace. And the body finally finding calm. Wonderful. Draw those big toes together. And grab the thumbs overhead for a full body stretch. Stretching from end to end. Keep the eyes lowered or closed. Make your way to a seated position. And letting those hands hang out in your lap or on the knees. And start to take a look back at your practice. Maybe you attempted some new things. Maybe you did all the chaturangas. Whatever it may be that gave you a little spark of joy and happiness. Start to focus on that strength, that happiness and joy. And dedicate your practice to someone. Not someone that you're worried about or feel sad about or anything like that. No heavy thoughts onto this person. Just someone that you'd like to give that strength and happiness to. Hoping that they have that same happiness that you just had. Hoping that they have the strength. Sending them that energy. When you're ready, bring the hands into heart space. Wonderful. I want to thank you all for tuning in and enjoying the practice with us. As always, the light in me honors and acknowledges the beautiful unique light in every one of you. Namaste.
Ooh, all right, guys. Thank you again. That was a little later than we wanted to, but we got kids, so that's what we got to do. I hope you enjoyed it. We will be going live more often. Let me know what you want to see. We're doing some workouts too, so I've been posting more of the workouts and editing them for you so you're able to see them. But the yoga, we like to just got to go live with that because that's a little bit more easier for both of you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Kelly?
Thanks, guys.
All right, see you guys later.